All right, here we go. Here's a quick walkthrough of my new patch, Semi-Generative. It's inspired by just this morning a random video came up on my YouTube feed, one of Andy Othling's walkthroughs of some semi-generative setup he had at one point on his pedal board, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I decided to challenge myself, see if it's doable on the Zoia. And that's what I ended up with here. Again, I called it semi-generative. So I really just want to walk through, well, just real quick. You got a control page. The looper's on the control page only because when you take it out of, when you put it into record the first time, it's a 2-second looper. It automatically switches back to play. So instead of flipping back and forth to see whether it's in overdub mode or not, now it'll stay in overdub mode. I just put the looper on the main page. But the two controls here, this will be record or put it back into play. And then you've got the erase button right there. The rest of the controls here are basically volume controls and a couple other ones over here. So you've got the volume of the loop. You got the volume of, there's a page here that's bit crushing, as well as some granular delay. You've got volume for a low pass filter. You've got a reverse delay, so a separate volume control for that. Over here you have a control for the amount of bit crushing you want applied to the signal that's coming out of the looper. The rate of the filter for the low pass filter, how quickly it's going to ramp. It's on a sine wave. That particular one's on a sine wave. And then lastly, you have the Q on the low pass filter, so you can really shape how the filter is working. That's the basic control page. But you've got your ins and your outs. It's mono in, stereo out. It does get split into a stereo spread module. Next page is the looper control page. There's a sequencer. There's a couple LFOs, and also tap tempo. Now the tap tempo is connected to a bunch of stuff throughout the whole patch, but you'll find that in the lower left corner here if you're ever looking for where the stomp switch is. But the left stomp switch, you can always tap in whatever tempo. That's controlling delays, LFOs, things like that. Next page is the bit crushing page. You've got a bit crusher going into a granular delay, which has a bunch of LFOs controlling the various functions on it, as well as a sequencer controlling the speed. Both sequencers, there's two sequencers on this patch, are going basically in octaves and fifths. Then you get into the filter section. So coming out of there, you're going to have a low pass filter, as I said, with an LFO controlling how quickly it opens and closes. Again, you have control over that and the Q on the filter. And this is also where the reverse delay is. The reverse delay is on tap tempo. And then you've also got a ping pong delay, old tape style. And then you've got a reverb light at the end, just to give everything some space. So what I'm going to do is mute this, and it doesn't take a lot of information to make this very interesting. So I'm going to try and be as sparse as I can here. But just clearing my looper on the floor. I'm not going to use it for this. If I do, I'll chime in and let you know. But so here it is, semi-generative. I'm just going to feed a couple notes into the looper and then let it go. It's a pretty cool patch. I'm actually really pleased with it. All right, there you go. Semi-generative. It's really great at taking what you put into it and kind of going with it. Just like Andy Osling said, I don't know if I'd call it generative, but it definitely is non-repetitive kind of pad. It actually kind of builds its own kind of musical quality, which is very cool to me. So there you go. Give it a shot. If you're a Zoia user, I should have it up on Patchstorage here shortly.